Matt-Trakker's gonna live the nation, and Spectrum's got such supervision. M.A.S.K is a mighty power that could save the day. M.A.S.K, no one knows what lies behind the mask charade. M.A.S.K, always riding out on Venom's trail. Comes to the laser rays, fire away.
Hey everybody, it's Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Mask. I'm going to pose a question, and I expect probably the same answer for the most part, but I know there'll be some deviations from it, but I'm going to propose it anyway, because my answer to the question, I think, is completely different than what others are, and I might be wrong, but we're going to find out. It's a pretty logical question. It makes you think. What is your collection worth? What's the value? Before I dig into that, I do want to let everybody know that I have put together a mask price guide. It's not 100% accurate. It's not, hey, Matt-Trakker.com has this. Make sure you go by that number. It's a guide to help you, because there's not a lot of information out there that really conveys that information that you would be looking for if you're looking for a value of something that you are currently in possession of or wish to sell. You have to think about it, and it's not easy traversing eBay. You can traverse it to look at costs and what sells. There's other websites out there too, but I felt as a M.A.S.K website, I felt I owed it to you, the fans and the followers of the website, to put something together. I will admit that I don't have anything outside of U.S. currency right now. I'm going to add some more columns in for that, so I apologize. And if you think there's anything here that might make it a little easier once we look at it for a minute to help you understand it, let me know. I'm always open to feedback, and I appreciate it. So let me know that. But not only is there a dedicated price guide page, but if you look at any of the toys, series 1 through 4 right now, the price is listed, the same price is listed on the price from the price guide on that section. So before I answer value and what it means to me, I'm gonna just show you this real quick. Matt-Trakker.com/price guide. It's a simple grid. It shows you the series, the name, out of box, and inbox. A couple people ask me what Ramp Up and Thunderball is. They're unproduced. I've covered them, and there are really great 3D printers out there that are working on this. Stian, who I think was one of the first, has some really good work with this stuff. You can find his work there on a recreation. Some exist, but not all do. And the adventure packs, I have them mint because it's hard to place the pricing on an action figure itself. Depending on which one you're going for, you're going to pay more. That's just the way it works. If you're looking for the Bruno Shepard from Racing Arena, just the figure, that's going to be harder to find than Bruno Shepard from Stinger. It's just the way it works. Gloria Baker's hard to find because Hasbro, excuse me. I'm just so quick to hate Hasbro right now. Kenner didn't give her a figure until the Split Seconds line, so it was like non-existent. But value is a lot of things. You have value in the boxes themselves. Like, are you collecting because you want everything, you're going for a sealed box. You want it to be pristine so you can turn around and resell it later. There's nothing wrong with that, in my mind. Other people might not agree, but if you're collecting and reselling, good for you. If you're collecting to add to your collection, to display it and not get rid of it, good for you too. It depends on what you want to do with it. I've been on the record in the past where my collection is not something that I'm like, hey, look at how much everything's worth. Obviously, though, I do have some things in here that are worth more, except for that damn Robin who keeps falling down. Yeah, you bastard. Don't get that Robin if you collect the animated series figures. His legs suck, the stand sucks, and he falls down and knocks everything over. But I'm going to show you something that I have in my collection here. I have a lot of really unique, cool stuff that many people would consider rare and hard to find. I'm going to get something right here that I have that I consider to be the most valuable piece of my collection because it means the most to me. Is there a price tag on it? No, there's not. It just means so much that that's what it is. And when you're selling things, you can't take sentimental value into effect. Some people might try to do that when they're selling, and it won't sell. If you have a Thunderhawk in the box and you're trying to sell it for $10,000, nobody's going to buy it. But be reasonable. But I'm going to see if I can pull this off the wall here without it pulling down my walls. Give me 1 second. Now, what I have here is something that was done not too long ago by somebody that I've become friends with through M.A.S.K. And not only friends, but somebody I think once this quarantine's over, maybe it's worth a time where we get together at a baseball game, just hang out. And of course, it's Carol Whack. And one day, I was at a baseball game with not my parents, but my dad and my brother, and I was wearing a very stupid Philly Fanatic bandana. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's the mascot of the Philadelphia Phillies. And number one, for him to do something that's Phillies based, I don't know the equivalent of overseas football, but I would imagine it's like a bunch of Manchesters fighting each other. It's a good analogy, right? This here, in my collection, this means the most to me right now. It's not a figure. It's not that weird ass Chinese set that I have from M.A.S.K. It's that picture. The bonds that I'm able to form and the conversations. That's what this website and my collection means to me. And someday, it's all going to pass on to my son. Now, of course, I'm going to keep some stuff for myself. I mean, come on. You don't go through all this and just give it all away, right? But no, there will be some things that I'll keep. But this is all going to him. And he can have that Robin now. He can rip his damn legs off. I don't care. Do it. It doesn't matter to me. But the bonds that I'm forging and keeping everything going, that's it. Sorry. It's been an uphill struggle with M.A.S.K. And I've been doing my damnedest. And if we never get an actual movie or any adaptation out of this, value to me is the friends that I've made and the acquaintances that I've made. That means the most. But if you want to buy this room, it's $8 trillion. Of course, I'm kidding. Collection's not for sale because, I spent a lot of time trying to recollect it, trying to save it, try to pass it on. Just because other entities pass on it doesn't mean we have to. So, use the price guide as a guide. If you're trying to sell something, you might not get that price. You might not get $10,000 for your in-the-box Thunderhawk, but think about how you're going about it. Think about it in that term, and it might make more sense. But the value of things is different for everybody. Again, Brian, when he just kind of made that mask agent of me as a Mets fan, that was pretty special. There's a ton of really cool customizers out there. Wes, and we have James from Shark Customs, Bjorn, Stian, Cliff Dagger. Everybody out there, like, you're such great people, and that's just customizers. There's a lot of other ones too, but like talking with to talk with Lisa, like, and I got to talk to Jason and Wyatt so often, and it's just bonding those friendships. That means more to me with my collection now. I'm trying to always progress it forward and trying to innovate what I can, but there's only so much I can do. So I count on you guys a lot, because without you guys, I'm not going to do these shows. I'm not going to sit in front of this camera and this microphone and talk about M.A.S.K or talk about anything else in general. I enjoy it because you enjoy it. And I want to keep that going as long as we can. So to everybody that's, become, friends with me over the time here, I appreciate that very much. And if you have any questions about anything, I can always answer you. The best way to get me actually is through email. It's Matt.Trakker85 at gmail.com. I try to respond to the social medias as often as I can. I'm not on there as often as I should be, but as soon as I see a question, I try to respond to it as soon as I can, whether I can't answer it fully or not. So, what's your collection worth to you? What's the value you put on it? Is it strictly monetary? Is it, do you look at it just as a really, really, really in-depth hobby? Are you looking to pass it on to your children someday? Or are you looking? I even thought about, until Liam was born, I thought about donating this to a museum. I mean, that's where my mindset was. And again, I'm not saying do that. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. Nobody is. I'm just curious what your thought of value is. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. I hope to keep this going, and those likes and subscribes will definitely help with that. So until next time, this is Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and I'll talk to you later.
Spectrum's got such super